Hello, everyone. Happy New Year. May the new year be divinely guided for you, especially listening more and more to your inner gut instinct. And I pray that the best may happen to you. And the best is not always what you wish for yourself. So, okay, a little disclaimer. These are just thoughts, personal thoughts, private thoughts that I'm sharing with my audience. And it doesn't replace to consult any specialist, like, let's say, for example, the doctor, the lawyer, or a therapist, if you may need. So just sharing. Sharing is caring, right? Okay. Also, another disclaimer I would like to add is the internet is full with knowledge, right? And most of the time, it's knowledge based on a personal subject, based on personal opinions. I ask you to really try to figure out whether what I say goes along with your values, with your gut instinct, with how you feel. So, with the internet, we come across with too many information that we feel really overwhelmed at some point. Even the really picky ones are the people that live a minimalism approach, especially when it comes to information from the internet. Even these people feel overwhelmed. So I really want you to understand that no matter what I say, it's a personal point of view. And I encourage you to really figure out whether it goes with your values and with how you feel. You might feel differently. You might have a different opinion, but it's always good to listen to other opinions and just see if you can retrieve valuable information, right? That might add to your own opinion to have a more thorough picture of what is going on, even though I do believe nothing is what it seems ever. Anyhow, so just gonna speak about people on the internet labeling like narcissism. Narcissism is a medical term, and it's really not easy to have or get this diagnosis, right? But we all know people that do not act from their higher self, like from love, from being guided by God, with morals, with minimum standards based on morals, with with direct and honest communication, right? So yes, this video is still labeled as a narcissist and narcissism, because I do believe that most people, if at all, will search for the term narcissism and narcissist. So, but the basic of the content I would like to share with you is, I know it's a lot of disclaimers today, but bear in mind that you can always forward the video until the 5th minute or the 6th, or whenever the content is valuable for you. Let me think how to put that into words. If you see that a person that is next to you, the people that affect us most are the ones that are close to us, right? For me, it's not even like, let's say, my parents or my siblings. I have had always clear boundaries and healthy boundaries with my family. And I mean, they've had their chance to get to know me. And if someone doesn't accept me the way I think, the way I live my life, I cut them short and I really have set clear boundaries. Um, with employers, or with customers, clients, it is a little bit similar, of course. You don't work with customers and clients that do not serve your needs, that do not value you, do not appreciate you, and so forth. Of course, because the services you provide is not just in does not require only the recompensation in monetary terms, but also like you would like to have 8 hours or 10 hours spent in the office with people that you like, right? At least you like and appreciate. But when it comes to partners, um, especially my generation, I was born in the late 70s. It has been really hard to get to know people because I feel the internet has taken over with all kinds of distractions, I would say. And and we tend to not work on ourselves and jump from one person to another, only to see that the same mistakes and the same problems occur in the following relationships, right? So it doesn't matter what kind of relationship you pursue, but the one that is really affecting you the most is the one that you're in a romantic partnership with, right? So if you happen to be with someone who, and now I'm going to definitely use the labels because this is like the common interpretation all over, not just the internet, but also in the books and in all kinds of scientific papers. Um, we call like people that gaslight and love bomb and disappear from one second to another. How do you call that even? Ghosting. All these things happen for a reason. I mean, not that you should be feeling sorry for these people, or not that you should be feeling any compassion for them. I just want you to know that if a person does not have any other way to respond emotionally or mentally or in any other way than just ghosting and love bombing and what do you call the other one? Gaslighting. There are so many terms out there. Know that these are the traits they have known since their childhood. And guess by whom? By the ones that were uh, near to them, like in the best case or worst case, or from which standpoint you ever consider it was their parents. Know that the parents have had the same kind of scenario. So they couldn't voice their needs and their wants or their any kind of emotion in a normal way, like sitting down, talking to each other, setting clear boundaries, appreciating still each other, and coming up to a compromise. No, they have been shown how to treat their emotions by manipulating the situation. So these people have grown up in families and surroundings where people manipulate each other. No, you don't have to feel compassion for them. And no, you don't have to feel sorry for them. You have your own stuff to deal with, right? I just want you to understand this person has grown up in a surrounding where people did the exact same to each other and also towards this particular person that you call your partner, your spouse, your husband, your wife, whomever. So they have not been shown any other case. Yeah? These parents couldn't sit down and talk about wants and needs. They didn't appreciate each other. They couldn't have a loving partnership. They couldn't voice their opinions. This was the way they dealt with emotional conflict. One or the other or both were gaslighting each other, or the other, or the one, or whatever, ghosting. Yeah. So if there was a conflict, one person just disappeared from 1 second to the other. So, and then to make up, maybe one came back, the one that ghosted, and love bombed the partner, only to repeat the cycle again. Okay? Okay. So, know that the people that treat you this way have grown up in that kind of surrounding. This is first. Second, from my point of view, in today's life, especially in a modern country like Germany, you have all kinds of information sources. The internet is full of information. There are so many books out there on self-help, on any topic related to these kind of labels. There are so many forums out there. There are so many blogs out there. There are so many podcasts out there. There are so many groups out there who sit down and talk about these things. If you failed to self-educate yourself and repeat this pattern over and over and over and over and over and over again for decades, there is no excuse. There's definitely no excuse. With the social security system here, with the health insurance system here in Germany, you get all kind of help if you need it. Bottom line is, the person that deals with you in such a way does not have any sense of self-reflection at all. At all. And if they failed as a grown up or a person in grown up costume, if they failed to look at themselves, even repeating the patterns over and over and over again, and they still fail to self-reflect, know that this is their choice. It's a choice they made. It's not that they can't help themselves. It's not that nobody can help them. It's not that they cannot develop into a better version of themselves. It's not they don't see what they are doing. It's not they don't know what they are doing. They exactly know. They see. They just choose not to do anything about it. Anything. So instead of bombarding the internet with another beautiful face, with another beautiful body, because the internet is full of fakeness. Yeah. I mean, I can't even imagine how much makeup is put on the faces. There are so many makeup videos out there. They put not just one, it's like a cover up completely. I can't imagine. I can't imagine. The only thing I put today is a little bit of eyeliner. It's I don't understand how the ego of each of the persons, people out there is bruised so much that they have to showcase how pretty they are, how perfect they are. So the only perfection for me is being authentic, being who you are. But if you don't know who you are, then little will you understand what comes out of being authentic, living a happy life. Because happiness comes from within, you can't seek it in outside forces. It's impossible. Impossible. So instead of seeking out how to be more perfect, what about seeking out how to be you and make yourself happy? People choose to live miserable lives for decades, only not to change. The only constant factor in life is change. And we do change. Even if we don't want to, we do. Our physical body changes from time to time. Our faces change from time to time. Even the hair color changes naturally from time to time. Everything changes. Why not your emotional and mental and spiritual side? Why not? People change us. The way we view things. Travels change us. New experiences changes us. So how is it possible that there are a certain set of people out there who say, no, I'm not going to change. I rather prefer to stay miserable in my life and repeat being miserable. Well, from my perspective, I don't understand. I've changed much, and I'm happy that I changed. 2012 was a start date for me to go into my inner journey, and it has been amazing since then. I'm pleasing myself, not others. If I do so, then know that this is a great deal for me, because I really, really, really appreciate and like you very much. But I'm not gonna compromise on a constant level my peace of mind. And I did that with someone who was in his ego all the time. I didn't understand that was the ego. If I did understand, I would have left many, 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 long time ago. I understood that the circumstances of life put him through the roller coaster, and that's why they landed where they are at. And instead of me stepping back and letting karma play its way into his life, I entangled my karma, my life with his. Big mistake. Well, that will be another video blog from me. But I just want you to understand that the people that deal with an immature way with your emotions, with your life, with your mental sanity, with your resources, with your gifts, with you, they have been dealt like this by everyone that was in their surroundings when they grew up. Parents, siblings, maybe grandparents, whomever. So if they know no other way of dealing with emotions but ghosting, gaslighting, and whatnot. This is the exact same thing what they have been shown by their parents, by their siblings. And even though they receive um, the same behavior by their partners over and over again, or maybe they attract the same type of partner, then that's perfect, I guess. But if they receive the same behavior from partners that, ghost them, gaslight them, lie to them, betray them, etc. I mean, this goes on and on, right? If you're not true to yourself, you can't be true to your partner. So there are all kinds of mishaps in between, not just the gaslighting and ghosting, but also lying. You lie to yourself, so why shouldn't you lie to your partner, right? So they have no other tools at their hand. And they give nothing, or they give bullocks to learn tools how to better deal with their emotions or with their mental conflict or with whatever conflict within themselves, but also in their relationships, and also in their surroundings. It doesn't matter. Yeah. So what I want you to know is these people are stuck. They're just stuck. Yeah. They have no capacity to connect with their hearts. For a second, I do feel sorry for these people, but not longer than a second. Because they're all grown-ups. Yeah, just like myself, I have read many, many books on these things, how to, guide myself into my inner journey and how to improve, and why I do feel unhappy, why there is sadness, to heal childhood trauma, to heal other trauma situations, traumatic situations, etc. So if I did the big deal of self-growth, they could have done too. But instead, they were busy with doing something else, I guess. In my case, I know what he was busy with. So I just want you to know, do not feel sorry or compassion with these people. These are grown-ups, at least in grown-up costumes, and they could have spent and invested time into their self-growth. They just chose not to. Okay? So you have to make sure what you want in the long run. Do you want a kid that you have to educate on a constant basis? And I mean, especially a rebellious kid that knows how to jump from person to person will not deal with your educational forces. So no, they will be leaving soon, only to see if there is another prey out there they can deploy and use and abuse. So, or if you just choose to see clearly, put your rose-colored glasses aside and really look at them, who they really are. It doesn't matter how charming they can be in the beginning. Just look at them, how they truly are, how they deal with emotional conflict in their lives and also with you. How they deal with it. Do they value how you feel even? Yeah. I had a it's really evil if you're next to a person that doesn't even value and care how you feel, how they make you feel with certain actions, reactions. And can you imagine to have a happy and healthy lifestyle with that kind of person? I don't believe that. So just make sure, if you happen to make this a deal kind of thing, so you get out something that you need from this relationship, then it has nothing to do with love. I spoke about this in my earlier videos. So know if this is a kind of a business deal. So he gets something from this situation, she gets something from the situation, then it's a big deal. Or if you're really looking for a heart connected, loving person, caring, protective person, then no, this person will never ever have the tools to develop into such. And you are the least person that can teach them. Your time is too valuable to teach any person in a grown up costume how to deal with emotional conflict. I mean, seriously, how is that possible that in our 40s, even late 40s, you have to teach someone how to deal with emotional conflict? If they don't even happen to care, they couldn't care less to deal with emotional conflict. They just run away, they just ghost you. Yeah. So, but if you are someone who wants to be validated and appreciated and just valued and loved, pretty much, yeah, these are like traits that people have when they love you. Yeah, they will make. There is no boundary if love is on the plate. No, they will make the effort to compromise with you. They will make the effort to look for solutions, and they will not stop looking for solutions. And especially self reflection, it's such a big thing in a relationship. If you never happen to self reflect, then don't be surprised if you attract partners who are just in for a big deal, getting something out of you. Yeah? I mean, I was surprised that he had like long term relationships, but then when it came down to what he provided these people, then I knew why these women were in the relationship with him. He provided something to them. Yeah. For one, there was money, the other one was a job, and, going through the divorce letters, him dealing with all the paperwork, etc. So if they get something out of you, then they will stay. They will stay and still have their own life behind your back. So it was a deal for both of them. Otherwise, I can't imagine staying in such an abusive partnership. It's impossible. Yeah. So like with this guy, I was so much in love, and my love goes really beyond, but there was a time I couldn't stand his presence. He was so toxic, I just couldn't stand his presence. And I could have never felt or thought I could ever feel this way with someone who happened to make me such a lovable, caring, overprotective, and giving person. Yeah, I have clear boundaries even with my family, but with him, I just put everything aside because I had so much love for him. But still, I couldn't stand his presence. It was so toxic, so toxic. I just wished he would just disappear sometimes. Which he did, I guess, with the ghosting. So I guess it was a wish come true at the end. So I just want you to understand, bottom line is put your pride, self-pride aside, at least for your own good. It's not about the other person. Just look deep down and check on yourself. If this person happens to deal with the emotional conflict you both have in a relationship in such a way, can you imagine yourself having a happy life with this person in the long term? I don't believe so. So do yourself a favor And even if you need like emotional distance or some sort of physical distance, get yourself a week off of the relationship, and just not just the mind, but also the gut instinct, put them all together, even your heart. Do you believe to have a long-term relationship with such a person? Is it even possible to build anything with such a person? Leave alone just trying to ignore the toxic traits. Can you even build anything with this person? You cannot build anything with such a toxic person. These people are toxic even to themselves. They are not happy. The people that have done this, they're alcoholics, they abuse drugs, they abuse all kinds of other things like porn, etc. So they try to numb themselves only not to feel how sad and depressed they are. Yeah, they just numb themselves, even with like occasional sexual encounters. Yeah, it's a way to numb themselves, not to feel fully what the heart feels. And the heart feels depressed, it's traumatized, it's sad. Yeah, and instead of dealing with what was wrong in the past and just trying to heal that part, they just numb. And you happen to put up an emotional, conflict with these people. Like, let's say you're in a partnership relationship with a person that deals with emotional conflict of any kind. It doesn't matter if it's small or big, it does not really matter. Yeah, they ghost. And why do they ghost? I mean, it's not me to tell people the psychological effects on why it happens that a person does that. But can you imagine, maybe I was thinking the other day um, about my traits, like before 2012 or when I was even younger. When you have something you haven't dealt with, like from the past, there's a wound, right? And you don't look at it, you don't validate it, you don't heal it. There are triggers, yeah, that happen to trigger the wounds, the old wounds. And when these triggers occurred in my past, I just ignored. It's the same, right? It's the same. If you ghost someone or you ignore the trigger, it doesn't matter if it's a location that triggers memory, if it's a situation that triggers a memory, if it's a person that triggers a memory, or a word, a single word out of a conversation that triggers a memory. I just try to ignore it. And what does ghosting mean? Ignoring. Not just emotional conflict, but the whole person for that matter, and for that particular time, right? So, anyhow, I just want you to understand that please be aware that so many people out there exist without knowing who they are. I mean, after 1.5 years, I can't even say who this person is. I've seen so many faces, I don't even know who he is. So, look at the people. If you don't want to, if you don't want to have a deal in a romantic partnership, but more like a loving connection, I will make another video about this, but I just want you to understand, take your time to get to know people. Only because someone is nice in the beginning doesn't mean they are nice. I mean, the first phase of any getting to know each other timeline is about the promo tour, like self-promoting, right? So of course they put their best foot forward. Yeah, just know for sure, don't catch feelings in the beginning and just observe. Observe their manners, observe what they're doing, what they're saying. And then, if you want to test them, then put up an emotional conflict. Yeah, or just say a differing opinion from theirs. Yeah, and then see how they act and react. Yeah, and how they come up, whether it's a solution or they just run or just blame you or whatever. Most of the time, you can even tell from their previous relationships how they are going to deal with you. Yeah, if they're a runner, then you're not the person that's gonna change them. Know that for sure. Yeah, they're gonna run also from you. Yeah, and it's not because they're running from you, they're running from themselves, how they feel with you, because you trigger old wounds. That's it. I mean, I was so sick of so many women's name with him. One was big and fat, tattooed on his forearm. Another one was always in his mouth, mixing up my name with hers. Another one was emailing him. Another one was like stalking me on Instagram. It was just too much. Someone who doesn't happen to clear out his past, know for sure that this person is an attention seeking whatever. Yeah, so if you happen to be really comfortable under your skin and you have hit a certain age and you really want to settle down, you really want to build something, and you have left behind your phase of having just plain fun and not thinking about the future, and you really want to plan ahead and you really want to have a stable lifestyle, know for sure that this person will never be part of your stability, ever. I mean, we all look a certain way that people that are attracted to us see us attractive, right? I mean, I got hit by men from social media or on the streets all the time. Yeah. If I like, there's a saying in Turkish, I can't make the interpretation now, but there's a saying that comes down to the content of, if you're not giving them the hope, they will never stalk you. They will never be in your mouth. They will never have a chance, right? So how is it possible that I happen to clear out my past fully and completely? I mean, there was this ex that my even first boyfriend came like towards me by email after like 2 decades or so because he left his wife, and I knew exactly what he wanted. Of course he wanted to test the waters. And I was so clear. I was so cutting clear. And I even showed my ex-boyfriend when we were together at that time that I received this email. And I even showed him how cutting my boundary was. Did I hear ever again from my first boyfriend? No, of course not. Because I know how to clean my plate. Who wants a attention-seeking bitch by his side or her side? Who wants that? I don't want it. I don't want to be set into situationships in competition with multiple exes all the time. One stalking me, the other one on his forearm. Couldn't get rid of it for a full year. Yeah, couldn't cover it up, nothing. And then one in his mouth. Yeah, so who wants that? Who, for heaven's sake, wants to have a person by her side or his side like that? If they want to play, leave them out to play with the people that also want to play. Then that's fair. If they ghost, then leave them to the people that also ghost. If they gaslight, leave them to the people that also gaslight. If they're a runner, leave them to the people that also avoid any communication and clear conversation. If they lie, leave them to the people. If you happen to wanting to change, because otherwise you won't be happy with this person. If you choose to change, like he's a liar, you lie also. He's betraying, you betray also. He talks trash behind your back, you do that the same. So if he runs away whenever there is conflict, doesn't matter what kind of conflict, even if you happen to be sick, runs away, you run away. So what a trashy relationship is that? Who has a little bit of sanity, intelligence in their brain would stay in such a relationship? It's not a relationship. It's not even friends with benefits. This person is not even a friend. This person is just someone that you encounter on the street, you have fun with, and then you just go. But this person has access to you on a daily basis? What kind of trashy relationship is that then? What kind of trashy relationship is that then? It's not even a friend. He's not there when you have a problem. He's not there when you have emotional conflict about his actions, reaction. He's not there when you have a problem and get sick. He's not there when you go to the hospital. He's not there. He's not even friends. He's not even a friend. So you can't even call that friends with benefit. So what happens is, it's some sort of situationship, like you go to a bar, you hook up with someone, and then you're gone. Okay, both sides have had their pleasure, their fun. But if you call it a relationship, then let me ask you, why? Why do you call it a relationship? From your side, you happen to be there, you happen to be caring and loving and protective and compromising all the time, even your standards and morals. You happen to catch them lying, you happen to catch them betraying you, you happen to catch them trash talking behind your back. You don't do the same. You still care about his feelings. You still put loving this person. You still are protective about this person in front of family and friends, even though they try to warn you all the time. So what kind of relationship is it? What kind of relationship is it if one person is in it to only have good times and not talk about anything else, just good times? And if you happen to have a problem, you're alone. And if they put you through problems, you're still alone. And if there's anything you need like help with because they don't contribute to the rent, to any bills, but they live with you, you're still alone. You're alone, all alone. And not just alone, you have a kid at home, kind of a kid that you still have to take care of. What kind of relationship is this? Okay, bottom line is, I talk to most women that have had similar experiences, because the internet is really full of women with these kind of experiences. But I also know some men who have had these kind of experiences with women. And it's heartbreaking. It doesn't matter, men or women. But I rather right now prefer to talk to women. So we happen to be independent, right? We happen to pursue a career, to be financially independent, to have a stable friend circle, to have a loving family, at least, the ones that we chose still to stay in contact with. And we have hobbies, amazing kick-ass hobbies. And we're just happy. We're just happy from the inside out. We don't need anyone. There is no need, there is no urgency, right? But if we choose someone, we want to be loved. That's the only thing we are asking for, right? So if it happens that the person in front of you treats you like this, how can you say that this person loves you, cares about your feelings, if they run away from every emotional conflict? I guess what we happen not to see is that it doesn't matter what kind of mental disorders these people have, from maybe medication abuse, drug abuse, alcoholism, or traumatic situations in their life. There is no excuse that you have to pay for this. No, there is no excuse. If they happen to be such a broken soul with so deeply broken hearts, they are not even relationship material. They should be working on themselves first to get happy with themselves and with their lives, right? You're not a rehab center, dear women. You're not rehab centers. Definitely not. But also some men out there happen to have similar experiences. Men, you are not rehab centers for these women. Yeah? If they happen to have disorders and they're unhappy in their lives anyway, without you, before you, they shouldn't be in a relationship in the first place. I'm not saying you have to be super happy to be in a relationship. Not that, of course not. We all have our baggages to carry with us. But this should be the minimum amount, right? And not the maximum amount. You don't happen to start a relationship when you're totally broke on a financial level, mental level, emotional level, completely broke. You can't start a relationship on this level. And if you happen to do so, you will have to know that you must be working on yourself as well at the same time. And make your promises walk the talk. Right? So it's impossible. It is impossible that a relationship can have a happy ending if you're unhappy, so deeply unhappy. I'm not just saying unhappy, really depressed, broke, and really rather prefer to be on the other side than this side. Or even, trying to emotionally blackmail the girl. That has nothing to do with your past. That has nothing to do with the traumatic situations in your childhood or the traumatic situations with your ex-wife or wives. Has nothing to do with all the betrayals you have gone through. And you still start the relationship on a lying and cheating and betraying note. How do you expect to come out of this happily? Impossible. So, ladies and gents, you are not rehab centers. I know you want to help your partners, but shouldn't it be that a relationship should be starting, first of all, in the first couple of years, happy? Of course, we all break down at some point. Yeah? Some of us lose jobs, or health condition reduces, or there's any other risks, financial mishaps, etc. Stuff can happen, life can happen. But there's no such thing that a relationship should be starting on a lying, betraying, backstabbing, gaslighting, ghosting note in the first couple of years. You should live a happy lifestyle in the first couple of years. And if that's not possible, have a clear vision or get a clear vision. What is the real deal behind all this? What is the real deal? If someone is just narrowing down options on how to get back on their feet after having had a very misfortunate situation with drug abuse, then this person is in it for his own benefits. It has nothing to do with you or with love. Leave alone love. It has nothing to do with you. Of course, this person will ignore you and how you feel and how he makes you feel. It doesn't matter to him. It doesn't matter. He just needs a rehabilitation center, and he chose you because you were giving and loving in the first place. So what does it tell you? Please, ladies, do not catch feelings for a person unless you know they're worth it. And how you know you're worth it? Well, deep down you know. You just know. You just know, and you can feel it. And just give it time. Just give it time. I mean, we happen to take more time to choose a car than choosing a partner. How is that possible? How is that possible? It took me 2 years to choose a car, to look for cars, to actually being led to my current car, and we happen to just instantly decide within a week or so who is going to be our partner when we meet them. How is that possible? How is that possible? So someone who has a differing value system, comes from a very different culture and religion, has had no family life, has had no values, no morals, no standard in his life. Do you believe that you can change this person? Don't make me laugh. Don't make me laugh. You cannot change a person. A person can only change himself or herself if they happen to really wanting to. Yeah. But if drug abuse comes into the equation, no chance. No chance. This person needs to get his, her life in order first. There's no chance with these kind of risky behavior you will ever have a happy family life. There's so much to tell to this story, and I'm writing a book, and I will definitely have to understand that my last relationship traumatized me in a way I could have never anticipated, ever. Because you treat people as you were treated by at least one parent. My mom was a very loving person, and I happen to be a very loving person as well, but only to the people that I chose or choose to love, right? So she's a very fair person, a very honest person, a very straightforward person. And I value that in her. I value all of her characteristics. I really love my mom and adore her, admire her strength dearly. So if someone, if you happen to treat people as you were treated in your childhood, and you never, no thought crosses your mind, other people could be different, like seriously, very mischievous different, like really in a very hidden, evil way with a hidden agenda. You don't happen to think this way. But now with the sick society and with all the sick people with plenty of mental disorders, None of them happen to allow a diagnosis with, I have to think in this way, being skeptical. Who is in front of me? How do they see people? Do they see them only as, like source of, I don't know, anything like money, energy, care, protection, whatever, benefits? Yeah. So, only because someone has a great deal of mask in the first couple weeks and months doesn't mean that they are the real deal, what they show you. It's just a promotion tour. And that's why I hate the first phase of the dating, and I really prefer to be friends first and see how they act and interact with friends. And yeah, relationship tips will follow, I guess. So I happen that with that type of dealing with dates is so much better. You have to happen to get to know a person in their normal environment, just like you observe animals. So, I mean, just observe them in their normal environments. And if they can't benefit from you, yeah, like from your body, yeah, from your love, from your care, from whatever, if they can't benefit you, they will show their true colors. And you have a decent human being in front of you, you will know that too. Oh my goodness, I talk too much. I don't even have a script. Like, seriously, I don't even have a script. I just free talk. Again, disclaimer, please be reminded that these are just thoughts I happen to share with you. I strongly remind you that you should go by how it feels to you. Yeah. Deep down, we all know already what is right and what is wrong. Just I would like to just encourage you to listen to your inner voice, to your gut instinct. We already know who's good for us and who is not. Yeah. From the beginning, I already mentioned towards him, that I felt he's not going to stay long term in my life. I knew it. I just knew it. And I knew that if he happens to have a little bit of money, like with my help and support, he got his job after 2 years of break from the job market. He got a job, and like a week after, bam, he's gone. And I knew it. I just knew it from the beginning. So I just encourage you, listen to your voice. Listen to your voice. Your inner gut instinct. You already know who is good for you and who's not. Who's going to stay long term and who's not. You already know that. And it has nothing to do with self-fulfilling prophecy. It has nothing to do with sabotaging. No, it is a voice deep down. It has nothing to do with self-sabotaging. No? No. With certain people, you just know what's gonna happen because they show you already clues. They show you clues. Yeah, like this person was running from one relationship to another, and he's a runner. He talked so pridefully and so in such an arrogant way how he left this woman and that woman and that woman, and he ran away in the middle of the night because she was so clingy. And I happen to understand that he loves attention and he loves people chasing him. And why? Why? Because his self-worth is this big. 0. Nothing. And he needs this validation from outside sources that he's so attractive, he's so valued, he's so pursued, yeah? So only to fill up his ego. What do you do with these kind of people? Disconnected completely from their hearts. You're not a rehab center. I myself chose to stay because I hoped eventually, because he was smart. He was street smart as well, but he was also intellectual. So I hoped that he would eventually figure out his traits, figure out his ways, and choose to adapt in a healthier version. For my taste, I stayed far too long. Like in the beginning of the year, I already felt like, oh no, that's not the right relationship for me. Even last year, no, even 2021, there were multiple scenes, multiple situations in which I felt so much discomfort. Everything inside me was screaming, walk away, walk away, walk away. I happened to stay because I had too much compassion for him. And that's why I started with the topic compassion and feeling sorry for someone. Don't. You risk your own life. You risk your sanity. You risk your peace of mind. You risk everything. Only because you feel sorry, you happen to come into a situation where you feel sorry for yourself. Don't allow this situation to happen and work out in this way. Yeah? So don't feel sorry for anyone who has not had the courage, the intelligence, emotional and otherwise, to deal with their own selves. Don't. Just like you dealt with your own self, just like you had the stamina and the persistence and the courage and, everything that comes with it to deal with your own trauma, to deal with, your wounds, to heal them, to grow a emotional, mental, spiritual, healthy lifestyle, to happen to be happy with yourself, to a point that you don't need anyone in your life. So, and nobody was there to make you grow into the person that you are today. And it is supposed to be this way. It is supposed to be this way. Because we don't need distractions from outside, from right or left or anywhere to define us. And that's why we're left alone during conflict situations, during conflict with ourselves, during dramatic circumstances. In order for us to really find ourselves, the true self, and not conditioned and manipulated by outside people, sources. Yeah? So that's why God leaves you alone, so you can find your true self, not influenced by anything else but you, your true essence. And if you happen to build yourself up every time you fall down, nobody can take that away from you. You're a survivor. Nobody can take that away from you. Yeah? Okay, peeps. Happy New Year. I'm wishing you a healthy lifestyle, peace of mind, love in your heart, both of them connected in a healthy way, listening to your gut instinct. Don't lie to yourself. It's not about them lying to you, it's about you lying to yourself. Don't do that. Happen to listen to your gut instinct closely. If you don't listen to yourself, how would you expect someone else listening to you? How? Of course they won't. And if you've given someone one or two or three chances and nothing is changing, they're still rude, they're still vulgar, they're still arrogant, they're still ignorant, all the toxic traits. Why would you stay in such a relationship one day longer? Why? Why? Ah, I wish for all of us more authenticity. I don't say don't put your pretty face out there. Of course, it's good to take care of yourself, but don't put a mask on. Too much makeup. I mean, there's this one girl that I play with in tennis. She has this amazing picture on WhatsApp. And when I saw her, I couldn't even recognize her. I was like, and who is this girl? And she said, Dad, that's me. And I was like, okay, I'm not a rude person. I'm not gonna mention that towards her, but they were like two completely different people. Like how is it that you're not happy with how you look? Why? Who tells you you're ugly? Who tells you you're not good enough? Who tells you you need more makeup? Who? Only a stupid partner, a stupid man, woman? Then this person is not for you. He should then be seeking out whatever he fancies, whatever he feels hot-headed with. So yeah, just be grateful for your health. Be grateful for who you have become, for all the people that have worked on themselves very, very hard for the past decades, years, or even they started their journey today. It doesn't matter. But no, there is such a thing to wake up in the morning and just be happy. Just be happy. I'm such a person, when I wake up in the morning, I can't wait to grab my coffee from my coffee machine, and then I'm just dancing because I'm happy. Because I've dealt with plenty of unhealed wounds from my past. I don't say that they're all gone, but I feel the majority part is gone. And we're all work in progress, especially with my last traumatic relationship. I know that I have to go through. He was just a trigger for some other old wounds, but not all of them, thankfully. So I have to deal with some of them. But I still wake up in the morning, be so happy, and look forward to the day. And I mean, can you imagine that today is your last day? Can you just imagine that? Just live a happy life. Today must be happy. And when it comes tomorrow, then tomorrow must be happy. Yeah? So I don't know. I mean, life is too short. I don't even know how the past 1.5 decades, 15 years has passed by so quickly. So I want to live a life that I'm thrilled of. I want to start my day with a smile. And I can do that. Can you do that? Do you start your day with a smile? Like seriously, not just faking the smile, but really smiling from the inside? Maybe not every day, but out of a month, 29 days, I wake up happily, very happy, and looking forward to many, many, many smiles during the day. And this is what I wish for all the people that work on themselves. A happy life starting already in the morning. Bye for now.